Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. The stories of Akbar. Birbal, pot of knowledge. Virasiman is a petty king. He was a minor king. He was under the rule of Akbar. He paid tribute to the Mughal Empire and maintained friendly relations with them. Virasiman, who valued the peace of the citizens in his kingdom, did not mind being a slave of the Mughals. But some young men in his kingdom felt that the king had compromised his character. The youths unhesitatingly approached him and voiced their condemnation of his policy. They expressed their opinion that freedom was their birthright and for the peace of the country, it was a shame to be slaves of the Mughals. Virasiman replied, "I also like freedom. But I don't want a river of blood to flow to get it. The Mughals are very close-knit. Before their creation, I, the petty king, can do nothing." They said, "Why are you comparing only force? Can we defeat the Mughals with our knowledge?" They said, "Do we have such scholars?" Said Virasiman. "Why not?" Said the youths. "No one thing. Nowhere else can you find scholars like those in Akbar's council. Let's test their wits." A young man who challenged said, "I will tell you a test. Ask Akbar to send a pot full of knowledge from his court." "A pot full of knowledge? Why is that? Can you fill a pot with knowledge like you catch water?" asked the king. "Do you think it's impossible?" He said. "Yes, that is impossible," said the king. "The wise man is the one who accomplishes the impossible. You said Akbar's Durbar had the best intellectuals in the world. May such great sages do as we ask." He asked arrogantly. The king also reluctantly agreed to it. A few days later, Virasiman sent a well-spoken messenger to Akbar with a handful of rewards. Virasiman's emissary entered Akbar's Durbar, bowed to him, presented Akbar with the rewards that his king had given him, and conveyed the king's greetings. "Is Virasima okay?" asked Akbar. "Should we ask about the welfare of our king when the emperor is in favor?" said the angel politely. "You will convey my greetings to your king." Akbar said, "Have I any news from the king?" He asked. "Lord, your Durbar is filled with many scholars. So our king begs you to please give me a pot full of knowledge," said the messenger. Those in the Durbar were surprised to hear that. How can knowledge be potted? But Akbar did not think seriously about it. As there were many scholars in his Darbar, he left it to them to take care of the matter. So he told the messenger that the item Virasiman wanted would be sent within a month. "Lord, your kindness knows no bounds. Our king is proud to be under your dominion," said the messenger skillfully to cool Akbar's mind, and went back. After he left, Akbar turned to the scholars in his Darbar and one of them shouted, "Lord, Virasiman cannot give what he asked for. Nothing is impossible." When Akbar said angrily, everyone remained silent out of fear. "Lord, Birbal got up and called softly, 'Give me a fortnight. I will overcome this challenge,' he said. "Surely this can be won?" Akbar asked, "Have I ever said something and not done it?" When Birbal asked back, "Good luck. You are the only scholar in my court." He praised Birbal and looked at the others with scorn. Birbal returned home that evening and took a good look at his garden. Along with other vegetable plants, he also saw a barangay vine. There were many flowers, finches and pods in it. He immediately went into the house and brought an empty pot, leaving it on the ground. He inserted a part of the barangay vine with a pinch into the pot and made the barangay pinch inside the pot and pulled the tip of the vine outwards. It looked as if the flying flag had entered the pot and then come out. "That's right," Birbal said to himself, and asked his wife and the gardener to keep the pot and the flagpole very safe. Every day he came to the garden and visited the barangay pinch in the pot. In 10 days the finches became infected. When it reached a stage where the fruit would grow bigger and break the pot if left alone, Birbal went into the pot and cut off the parts of the vine that came out with a knife. Now there was only a well-grown chickweed in the pot. Birbal then covered the mouth of the pot tightly with a cloth and took it to the Durbar. Birbal, who gave the pot to Akbar, said, "Prabhu, this is the pot of knowledge that King Virasiman wanted. Send this to him." Seeing that, Akbar said, "What, Birbal? Are you playing? How can the pot be filled with knowledge? What's really in it?" Akbar asked curiously. "Prabhu, knowledge is inside the knowledge box. Virasiman should take the knowledge inside the pot and send the pot back to us. It should not crush while taking it out. Do not break the pot." If a quarter pot breaks, Veerasimhan has to pay a fine of 10,000 gold coins. Tell him all this, said Birbal. What, is the fine 10,000 gold coins? Akbar asked. The price of knowledge is very high, sir, said Birbal. Similarly, after being given the pot by the messenger, Akbar, who could not contain his curiosity, said, Birbal, tell me what you have in the pot, he urged. At once Birbal told him what he had done. Sir, Veerasimhan will be right on the nose for his mischievous question. He cannot take out the parangikai in the pot completely without breaking the pot. Parangikai should not be cut and taken out, so he is stuck with us. Damn it, Akbar patted Birbal on the back. On receiving the pot, Veerasimhan saw a large barangai inside the pot. He also asked for those two conditions. Parangikai should not be cut. At the same time, if you try to take it out completely, the pot will break. Immediately the king called the preacher youths and showed them the knowledge board and explained it to them. Tears flowed down their faces. I also became a fool after listening to you. I said earlier that there was no dearth of scholars in Akbar's court. You didn't hear me. To cover the penalty amount, you will have to work for me without pay for the whole period, he said. Then, in a twist of fate, to send the fine to Akbar, he gave half of it to Birbal. Thank you for listening the story and ta-ta bye bye, see you.